quiet progress, but now he gets the chance to make a little bit more of a name for himself.
So let's see what happens as Wilson defends that unbeaten record here against Sven Hamer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kelvin Hall here in the city of Glasgow, Scotland, where tonight Mr. Frank Warren and Sports Network Europe, in association with Alec and Catherine Morrison, present an evening of professional boxing for your entertainment. All the bouts tonight are sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Supervisor in attendance, Mr. Simon Block. Scottish representative, Mr. Brian McAllister. Let's get things started, ladies and gentlemen, with 6 rounds of boxing in the super bantamweight division. Your referee for this contest is Len Mullen. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, this is an 8-round bout. And it is in the light heavyweight division. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing purple with gold trim. He weighs 12 stone, 4 pounds. His professional record, 11 bouts. 7 victories, 5 by KO with 4 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, originally from Margate, but now fighting out of Bristol, here is Sven Hamer. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the plaid and weighing in at 12 stone, 5 pounds, 1/4 ounce. In 11 bouts, he has 10 victories without a loss, with 1 no contest and 3 knockouts to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, from Edinburgh, Scotland, here is the undefeated John Wilson.
Well, MC Michael Buffer, one of the most famous in the world, making his Glasgow debut, I think, tonight. And I don't think the 2 fighters here have ever been introduced in quite that fashion, have they, Glenn?
I don't think they have. I think they'll enjoy the big build-up.
Here, and watch the heads, man, toes to break, step back, pistol up.
Referee Len Mullen, you heard his voice there. So how good is Wilson, we wonder? Haven't really had a name light heavyweight from Scotland since Chick Calderwood back in the 60s, who fought Jose Torres for the world title. Wilson, who came into Flower of Scotland wearing the tartan trunks, Hamer in purple, originally from Margate in Kent, but now fighting out of Bristol. Wilson will definitely start as the favourite here. It's due to go 8 rounds, this one. Wilson already working very well behind his left jab. Thrown fast and with some power. Hamer, heaviest ever, remember, 12-4, but still 1¼ pounds lighter than Wilson, who looks a big man by comparison, looks heavier than that, doesn't he? Or the difference looks bigger, doesn't it, Glenn?
That's right. Well, it isn't that long ago that Sven Hamer moved up from middleweight to super middleweight. Now he's got the move again to light heavyweight. And I think, you know, the physical advantage Wilson holds is already a big plus for him. He's got the height, he's got the reach, and you know, he's got the boxing skills. Hamer has to try and get inside and try and land with some of the heavier punching. Wilson's not really known as a big puncher, but you know, he is the bigger man.
Hamer did get through with the right hand. Hamer is the kind of boxing operator, really, who always gives his opponents a pretty tough time of it. I remember he had Jason Matthews, who's regarded as one of our best rising middleweights, on the floor when those two fought. He's no respecter of reputation.
Well, there is the doubts about Wilson's temperament, and Hamer is the sort of character that can really test out your temperament, because you know he really goes for it. He's very much a try, and you know, he gives everybody a tough fight.
Let's stay back.
Just switching styles, Wilson to southpaw momentarily there, almost as if he thought about a switch and then thought better of it. Hamer trying to take the fight to him. Wilson using his boxing skills, and in particular his jab, and a good right uppercut from him on the counter there. But Hamer looks full of belief and some ambition here.
Yes, he's a little reddened around the face here. He's come in the ring with a little bit of a mouse under the left eye, and I think that's getting a little bit worse. Wilson's just trying to pick Hamer up from long range, give him plenty of angles and bring the shots in from all sorts of different directions.
Hamer just got a small word of warning from the referee about slapping.
Stay back.
There's some decent pressure tactics from Hamer in this opening round. Could be a good one.
Pressure for that long right hand. So some good work from Wilson. He's good reflexes, good fast skills. Hasn't yet shown any sort of real power, but he's beating Hamer to the punch.
It's only 3 KO wins out of 10 victories so far for Wilson, but as you can see, he is essentially a stylist. Still that little nick underneath the left eye of Hamer that I think was there almost when he came into the ring.
Yes, he came in the ring with a little sort of mark under his left eye, probably a bit of a sparring injury. Nothing too bad.
Clearly past the doctor anyway.
Right at corner.
Well, Hamer has to try and close the gap and get close enough to land a punch without getting caught on the way, and that's his big problem at the moment, getting close enough without getting caught.
Easier said than done for him, I think, the way things are panning out just at this stage anyway. That's better from Hamer. He just cut him off on the ropes and got him with the body shot, but they've been spasmodic successes, to put it mildly, for Hamer so far. Wilson clearly one of the boxing brain boxers. He's Edinburgh University student. You don't find too many men with degrees going into the boxing ring, but here's an exception. And he got caught there, Wilson, with the right hand as he was circling down by those ropes. For a moment I wonder if he just slipped over there, but it was a right hand. Well, Hamer catches up with him. Well, problems for Wilson.
Well, that'll give Hamer the confidence now, knowing that he can hurt Wilson. Now you should expect Hamer to put a lot more pressure on. He's got to try and close the gap to Wilson a little bit quicker and not allow Wilson's head to clear.
Do we have an upset boiling up here, we wonder? Hamer now will really believe that he can end this unbeaten record of this Scot. He's come a long way up here from Margate in Kent for this mission, and again he catches Wilson with the right hand. The pressure pays off in round 3 for Sven Hamer, and he's got him with an uppercut this time, and Wilson is down for the second time in the round. It was a right uppercut. The count is at 6. Now it's 7. He's up with the count at 8, but Wilson is in trouble here and is looking down the barrel. Well, it's all gone wrong for him.
It has. The punch resistance wasn't good there for Wilson. It didn't seem the first time as if it was that good of a punch, but we didn't know if he'd stumble, but he went down on his knees and he looked hurt. I think we can just see it here. It's an overhand right. It does catch him on the chin. It didn't look that great of a shot, but he went down and he had to take a little bit of time there to compose himself. Here we just see it. The uppercut. This is for the second knockdown. He just squats down a little bit, Wilson, and he falls onto the uppercut, and I think he adds to the power of that. There we can see it. He just dips his head, and he dips his head onto the right uppercut from him, and again he goes down. And it didn't, again it just seemed to hit the arms, and he went down. His punch resistance isn't looking that good.
Well, 4th round, and these are horrible moments for the Scottish fans. There'll be a lot of his friends and family in the Calvin Hall watching this tonight. But it does look here as if Sven Hamer has exposed a big chink in the fighting makeup of John Wilson. He's going to need some real character now to get through this.
Yes, Wilson will have lost a lot of confidence in that round, and this is really where Hamer has to try and capitalise, has to try and push forward hard and just keep trying to throw big punches at Wilson every opportunity.
Stay back.
Well, he looked to be boxing well with flashy skills, jab and move, but you did mention that he was just leaving his chin a bit high, and he's caught again there, Wilson. Confidence visibly draining away from him, and he came in with lots of it.
And now Wilson's been forced just to stand still. He's not moving as well. He's not getting his head out of the way, and he's just been forced to have to stand a little bit with him, and that could be very dangerous for Wilson.
Now, we did warn you about Hamer. He relishes the battle and is a tough man to get the better of. He's lost 4, but his defeats have been in pretty good company.
Yes, they have, and they've always been hard fights. He's always give his all. Never been lacking in character when the fight's getting tough. There's very little movement coming from Wilson now. This could be good.
He's gone again. Right this time. His legs had stiffened up, and I just wonder how much here John Wilson has left. This time he's up at 7. He says to the referee he's okay, but Hamer is getting to him now, and the end could be close. The crowd are trying to lift Wilson, the Scottish fans. Well, there's no life in the legs now, Glenn.
There's not, there's very little. He's trying with the left hook, Wilson, but he's not getting through, and again he goes down, and very little punch resistance whatsoever. It didn't look a good punch, but he's not taking them well at all.
Well, we didn't take the punch, to be absolutely fair, but it didn't look too much, but he just looked spent here. And Hamer senses that a body punch. It's the 5th knockdown of the contest. It is over, and John Wilson's unbeaten record is shattered by Sven Hamer, and give him maximum credit for that performance. Worked out the style of Wilson, caught him along the ropes, put him on the floor 5 times. That's a big, big win for Hamer. It's his 3rd at super middleweight, and he has suddenly rediscovered himself. John Wilson's dreams, well, for the moment, stone dead.
Yes, Wilson just when Hamer started to get through, Wilson could not cope with the power. The punches did not look to land that cleanly, but he just couldn't take them. They were just too much for Wilson, and really this was his first sort of step up in decent class, and he just couldn't handle it. There, a little bit of a delayed reaction, but he went down. That was the first one. Just the second one, it just seems to glance over the top of the head. Very little power, did not connect that cleanly, but he went down.
He was absolutely spent by this time, John Wilson. You could see the end was coming, and this is where it did.
And really just a hook round the side of the head. Not a great shot, but it just looked as if it was one of those disastrous nights for Wilson, who just couldn't get his act together. And all credit's got to go to Hamer. He got the opportunity and he seized it.
But it does, I'm afraid, leave a big question about the punch resistance of John Wilson, who can't wait to get to the dressing room, even before Michael Buffer makes the official announcement from the ring, which he will now do.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Len Mullen calls a halt to the contest. The official time, 2 minutes, 41 seconds of round number 4. Your winner, Sven Hamer.
It's been a rather hard couple of years for Sven Hamer, but when watching him, you have to say that he always brings determination and commitment to the work in the